jungle. Who wants the smoke? I didn't think so. Use a joke, about to get your ankles broke. Chasing C notes. Chasing C notes. Welcome to the jungle. Who wants the smoke? I ain't think so. Use a joke, about to get your ankles broke. Chasing C notes.
Welcome to Chasing C Notes, a podcast. I'm your co-host Eric, and I'm always joined by my co-host Larry. What's good, Larry?
It's January. We're getting closer and closer. Let's go.
Let's go. We are going to have what we usually have. This is episode number 17. We're going to start out with some NBA news. We're going to do a quick recap of December 2024, even though we're in 2025. We'll have our power rankings, and of course, we'll have our stuck up and stuck down for the NBA, Boston Celtics, whatever you want. But Larry, how was your holidays, first of all?
Oh, it was great, man. I did 12 days of Christmas for the kids and for the wife. They enjoyed it. We had a great time. And I got to meet an old buddy that I haven't seen in years. So that was pretty cool.
Listen, good for him. Good for him. I'm glad you speak well of that gentleman who is speaking of. I got to see a low, dirty, down, out, and out bum named Larry in Georgia this week. And I was glad to see you. I want to say this. And I think I've said this before, but when you go vacation with your kids, you're not really vacationing, you're just parenting in a different time zone, in a different state. So when I went to see you guys in Georgia, when we went to Georgia, to the mountains, I was doing the same thing I'm doing right now.
Right.
Just parenting.
Yeah.
It's really more for the kids so that they can get out and enjoy. But for the experience. But it was cool, Larry. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I left Boston because I didn't like the cold, and sure enough, the mountains was cold. Although I will say this, Larry, I did enjoy the peace and quiet. There was no sirens. There was no highways. Of course, fireworks was forbidden. Nobody was allowed to fire fireworks. So it was a lot of quietness. The kids, we played a lot of games to keep them busy. Although we did have Wi-Fi, not like we were secluded. But it was good. It was good. I was impressed by the way that the other side lives, right?
Yes. I'm glad you got your welcome to Atlanta. We stopped at the Waffle House and we had a really good time. So it was great meeting the wife for the second time and the kids for the first time.
Yeah, because they weren't even born when last time I saw you. So Larry, did you get everything on your Christmas list?
Yeah, I guess so. I really don't have a big list anymore. I'm not as materialistic as I used to be when I was younger. So most of my stuff is just, hitting my goals, and that's, good health and making sure that I'm doing things that make me happy and I'm having fun.
Yeah, I don't think that it's not so much that I have a big list, but, there's some things that at the end of the year, I'm like, this is not a need. This is more of a want. This is what I want. And what I want, I never got. I never get. It doesn't matter if it's small or big. It doesn't matter if it's hard to find or you can just grab it at your local market. Nope, I never. This is like the 10th year in a row. So I'm going to start making like a wish list. You know how OnlyFans models have a wish list? I'm going to start making a wish list. I'm going to start taking off my clothes and putting it out there, Larry, because I don't get what I want. I don't get what
Exactly. Maybe get some Amazon gift cards coming your way.
Yes. Just
what I want is the Patriots to get the number one draft pick. What I need is another championship for the Celtics.
Yes. So let's start off, Larry, with the news, and I want to start out with the fresh news. Butler for Miami Heat suspended 7 games. Larry, what's your thought on that? Did he have it coming?
I had to look it up to see exactly what the issue was. Of course, they gave a very vague business statement. He was detrimental to the team over the entire season, they said, but mostly the last several weeks. So Butler was doing Butler things. And, I guess they were just kind of tired of it. 7 games, they suspended him. The writing's on the wall that he was leaving. I think Riley made a statement not too long ago that he was not trading Jimmy Butler. And that probably made Jimmy Butler go even more crazy. And so, at this point, Miami is pretty much at that point where they're on the cuff, not really a contender, but not really out of the playoffs at all. But I don't know. I think Tyler Hero's been playing really well. He's trying to hold things up for them. And, Butler just got back and then now he's gone.
I mean, this dude hasn't, and I'm strictly looking at it from a Boston Celtics fan point of view. This guy talks, but has never, ever. I think that one time when he made it to the finals against Denver and they smacked him. But that dude hasn't won a championship, but yeah, we treat him like he's sliced bread. So what's the point? Why are we doing this? Are we just like the drama? Or do we think Butler actually has some kind of case where he can actually turn it off and on when the playoffs start? Like, why are we obsessed with this Butler thing?
Hey, Butler's a great player, but I wish he had this fit both, the last 4 years, so we would have got to the finals 2 more times. It is what it is. Miami's had a really good team for a long time. They don't really get a lot of respect, and I think they've proven that they need to be a team that's out there with the Miamis, the Philadelphias, and the Boston. And right now in the East, all I see is Boston. I see Cleveland. I see New York. I see Orlando. I don't see those other teams doing anything right now.
Yeah, I mean the East Conference is pretty easy. Miami doesn't need to do a lot to actually earn the playoff spot. I just don't think that they deserve all this, attention. I don't know. That's just me. I think Butler is definitely overrated, but that's my personal opinion. It is what it is, but 7 games, it's not going to be enough. He's going to be basically sitting on the bench, talking a lot of smack and not really producing. So I don't know what Pat Riley's trying to do here. I mean, why don't you just trade him or drop him? Or I don't know what the contract stipulations are, but this dude is not helping you. So why even keep him on the team?
Yeah, well, Miami's known for keeping people on the team that they should take off the team. They had this one guy on the team that should have been a coach, and they had him on the bench for a long time. So they're known for doing that. But like the Lakers, they don't have to really play well, but they'll still be in the news.
Yep, that is definitely true. So Larry, we go from some old news to some new news to old news. The NBA Cup. Did you watch the final game and was OKC robbed or was Milwaukee the real deal?
OKC played pretty well. They didn't have their best game, and Milwaukee took advantage. Good thing for OKC is that it didn't affect their winning streak. So they're still doing pretty well right now, and they had a really good game a few days ago when I watched them, where I think it was Wiggins that just got hot in the fourth quarter and carried the team. Okay, you'll see when we do our power rankings, OKC is proving a lot of things right now. Milwaukee, we know they had a slow start. We knew they were going to try to make a run. They made their run. They're inching up. Let's say they're doing better than Philadelphia right now. So I think Miami will drop, and I think they can take over Orlando and New York, and they'll get that 3rd spot. I think Milwaukee will.
Well, Orlando right now has a lot of injuries. If I'm looking at Milwaukee right now, they're 6-4 in the last 10 games. It's not. I thought that winning the NBA Cup was gonna catapult them. The Bucks, what I'm talking about, they're gonna beat the NBA Cup. They win it. They're gonna prove that they're an actual real team, but they're kind of up and down. They have a win streak and they lose one game, they win one game, they lose one game. So I'm not getting the result that I thought I was going to get after the NBA Cup. As you mentioned, OKC is just rolling along. And, they lost that game in Las Vegas and you would think they were going to be down, but it's the opposite. They keep winning. The last 10 games, they're undefeated. They're 10-0. So it hasn't affected them at all. So great for Milwaukee for getting that trophy, but even more greater for OKC they just keep winning.
Yeah, I think OKC's 14-game win streak. Cleveland's on a 9-game win streak. They both their records are amazing right now. If they keep winning, we're going to be talking about some other stuff with them pretty soon.
I know that's amazing what OKC doing. The other news is the NBA rating is down, Larry, and we kind of briefly talked about it before we started recording, but I haven't looked into it too much, but why do you think that the NBA is so down? The NBA always has a low rating around this time frame. Football kind of takes over. With the games to the major audience don't seem like they're big games. We also got to see how do they calculate the ratings, because people are watching games differently than what they used to. We got people watching on their phones, people watching on their tablets, people watching in sports bars. So we don't really know where everyone's watching these games at. I thought that the NBA has been playing really well, especially the Christmas games. I know there's a big funk with LeBron saying, hey, the Christmas is NBA, NFL, why y'all even came this way. And, it is what it is. The NBA and the NFL, those are the two top sports right now, and they're going to get all the ratings. And I just think that the NBA will turn around once they kind of figure out, because they haven't told us where they get the ratings from. We have more people than we did back then, so we should have more people watching NBA. So, the new generation maybe has something to do with it. We'll see. Yeah, and I think you hit it on the nail a little bit there, everyone. The NFL, thinking about the NFL, why all of a sudden there's a NFL game on Christmas Day? Why all of a sudden there's another game? I understand that the college games ended, but on Saturday. So we had the NFL Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Christmas Day,
Wednesday,
and it's like
Thursday.
I don't know if NFL is just cutting into the NBA ratings, like they're competing leagues. I don't know. It's like I don't know if it's ticket sales are down or I don't know what's going on. I have to look into it, but I feel like the NBA is being attacked all the time for the ratings not being what they should be. But I'm like, the ratings are not what they should be, because there's not, if you think about who is the face of the NBA.
Good question.
I feel like it should be, it should be JB. It should be Gilles Alexander. It should be like all the young guys should be the face of the NBA. Even Tatum should be the face of the NBA. But, instead, everyone's saying, oh no, all the international players are getting all the MVP talk and all the best games and all the primetime games, etc. I don't know. To me it looks like the same thing, but I guess to other people, especially like NBA owners, the ratings are down. Like show me what I want to see, that evidence to show me. Like I don't want to see, oh no, this many TVs were off, and no, because like you said, people are consuming it in different ways. You can stream it to your phone, you can stream it to your laptop, you can stream it on YouTube after the game is done. I just feel like there's a lot of different avenues than just how many TVs were on during the holidays. So I don't know. Show me the data, and then I'll see like what's going on with the ratings. Larry, MVP race. We're like almost halfway through the season. Who are your top three?
My top three is going to have to be SGA, JT, and Mitchell. And the reason why, Mitchell is because he goes in there, he lights off, and he's got the number one team right now. So I got to give him some talk.
Yeah, I like Shea, and I like Morant too. And, if the Sixers get turned around, which, spoiler alert, I have them in my stuck up section of the podcast. I like the Steelers. I like the Sixers. Excuse me. I like what they did to the Celtics the other day. I was, impressed, but I wasn't hopeful. I was just impressed. I wasn't like gonna start setting bets on the Sixers or the Sixers are over, but I think Maxey has a shot if he can turn it around. But those three players that you mentioned have valid arguments for the MVP race.
Yeah. I think Philadelphia is 14-19. They just won tonight against the Nets. They played really well, but right now, if the playoffs would start today, they would not be in the playoffs, or even the play-in.
That is very true.
Rack it up.
That's very true. All right, Larry, let's recap the month of December. And I'm not talking about what we got for a gift. I'm talking about what we predicted this team to play, but it fell short. So I'll start, Larry. I predicted that the team would go 10-4. You predicted a 12-2 team. The results were they went 8-6. Larry, should we be concerned as Celtics fans of a terrible December, at least by our standards?
Yeah, I mean, 8-6 is still a pretty good record, but we both had them winning more games. I think when I go back to look at what I was calculating was that KP was not going to come back this early. He came back, I think, a month before I thought he was going to come back. And I knew they were going to hit a slump. They hit their slump a little bit earlier than what they would expected. So they hit their slump at the end of December. It looks like they're just starting to come out of it. So I think they're going to be okay with January. I think I had them losing a little bit more than they're going to. So I think everything will balance out. They just had to, and they're winning games on the West, on the West Coast. And obviously they got a challenge tomorrow afternoon. But they're definitely playing better, and they're doing this without JB right now.
Yeah, I mean, 8-6 is still a pretty good record, but it's very close to a 500 record, right? If two more losses, and then one more loss, and then we're talking about a 7-7 December. So it's. I want to see them dominate, and I think I heard a couple of days ago they had like a players only meeting before they went on this West Coast trip, and they apparently something was said. I want to assume because I wasn't there, but something was said, and all of a sudden they played well against Minnesota and they played well against Houston. So I think that they finally, even with that JV, I think that they finally realized that, hey, we need to start playing better ball. You know how some teams, December, they kind of slack off because of the holidays. I think I'm going to say that's what happened to them. And like you mentioned earlier, I think that KP injury where he's in and out of the lineup kind of messed up with their heads. But I'm really thinking that January, they're going to turn the corner. And they already are as we speak.
Absolutely. Yeah. In their last 10, I think they were like 5-5 at one point. I think the announcer said that they haven't won two games in a row since December 15th. And all that was accurate. But now they're turning the corner. And I'm looking for them to, be the Celtics that we know.
That's right. All right, Larry. So, who is in your power ranking?
For my power rankings, which was kind of was strange because I think I almost matched you for the first 5. I had Cleveland at 1, OKC as 2, Boston at 3, Knicks at 4, Orlando at 5. Okay, this is where we kind of changed up. Memphis was 6, Houston was 7, Atlanta was 8, Milwaukee was 9, and Dallas was 10.
Yeah, I really don't have an issue with that power ranking. I think, yeah, you can flip Cleveland and OKC, and I wouldn't have a problem because they both have great records, and both have, 14-game winning streak is nothing to snooze at, right? That's
asterisk.
Yeah, that's, and we're talking about the West competition here. Right. I have Boston as number 3. New York Knicks at number 4. I have Dallas at number 5. Memphis, I have a 6. Clippers at 7. Milwaukee at 8. And to be honest, they won the NBA Cup, and I was like, okay, Milwaukee's back, but they might not be back. I have Houston at number 9. And then I have Minnesota at number 10. And again, same thing with Milwaukee and Minnesota. I'm not super impressed by what's going on in Minnesota right now. I think for some reason, Anthony Edwards is taking a back seat. I don't know if it's because Randall is there. I don't know what the Vincenzo. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they just haven't built that chemistry yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm very concerned with teams like Minnesota and Denver, where they just don't seem like they're fully in it yet.
Yeah, and Denver. Denver is not even in either of the top 10 there. And let me just check where they are in the standings right now.
They're 5th, but they're still getting beat by the Lakers.
And it's not like they have a great record.
No.
19 and 14 is not, it's not a great record.
The West is they're so close that, win or loss can drop you from being out of the playoffs or being in the play-in.
Yeah, if we look at the records, Chicago with 15 and 19 are in the 10th spot. And then we have Minnesota 17 and 16 in the 10th spot. So this is going to come down to a tight race. Very tight race. Yeah, very, very tight race.
Except for the Pelicans and the Jazz, they won't make it close.
Yeah, we knew that the Jazz were like throwing the season. They just won draft picks. But what's going on with the Pelicans and the Kings and even the Suns? It's not good, Larry. Not good. Who is your stock up for this episode, Larry?
For my stock up, I have Dwhite, the block monster at this point. And then I have Jason Tatum as 2. And then, of course, I have Peyton in that 3rd spot. I just think that nucleus is just holding things down, even when we got different lineups coming in. And I think, I see why you put Hauser in there, because he did start, and he did pretty well with that.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think those 3 guys, even though Pritchard might be coming off the bench, that is your scoring, your scoring duo without JB there, right? You're scoring triples right there, right? Yeah, Pritchard, which arguably is going to be the 6-man award for sure. Unless there's some kind of catastrophic injury, I can't see him not winning it. Jason Tatum is scoring like there's no tomorrow. It doesn't matter who is guarding him. And then you have Mr. Do-It-All, Derek White. So I completely agree with your stock up with those 3. With mine, I have Sam, because he's been actually pretty good doing some starting spots with JB not being there. So I'm actually okay with Sam coming off the bench to start. I have Derek White, which we just talked about, he's doing amazing. And surprise to me, I have Luke Cornett as number 3. I really don't. It's not that I'm not appreciative about Luke's game. It's just that I think that sometimes if he's not included in a 2-on-2 or, screen game, or I don't think that, he can disappear for minutes at a time, is what I'm saying. But when he's there, when he's doing it all, then you're like, oh wow, Luke Cornett, look at him. He got rebounds, he's getting blocks, he's as I mentioned, he's great off the pick and roll. He actually has a good mind, a good basketball IQ. Sometimes for me anyways, he disappears. What do you think so far about Luke Cornett?
Yeah, I can't disagree with your list as well. Cornett has definitely stepped up. I think he was 1 point short of a double-double at the last game. It's just like those 4 guys that they keep rotating in as our centers. They all are just doing enough to take care of business and make you respect that paint. So I just think he definitely has stepped up, and he'll get an alley-oop every now and then and show something as well.
Now, I don't want when KP comes back, come back, not just like take a game off, take 2 games off, then come. I'm talking about when he's there like on a daily basis, which probably won't happen until I don't think it's gonna happen this year, to be honest with you, until the playoffs start. But I kind of don't want Keda or Cornett to lose minutes. I want them in the lineup somehow. I want them coming off the bench and putting up some minutes. I like Keda's defense. I like his hustle. He definitely doesn't have the basketball IQ that Cornett has, but he makes up in having good athleticism.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely like the blend of those 4 guys, and I think they're going to keep getting their minutes just because our bench is not as established as it should be. So with those guys rotating in and out, and then you have like Hauser and Pritchard, I think that's going to be our bench going forward. So,
all right, Larry. So who's your stock down?
My stock down, I actually went all teams on my stock down, and obviously number 1 was Miami. I think they need to fix that. Whatever's going on in-house, they got to take care of that, get that squared away. Minnesota, I know Santa Claus had an issue and yelled at the whole team, and I still don't think that went over well. They're still not playing to their potential. And then I had Denver in there. I just didn't like the body language of Denver, especially with Murray. I just feel like they're not the team that we know that won a championship not too long ago. So I think they just need to get back on track.
Yeah, I am in total agreement with the whole Miami thing. I think they should keep all the contracts, and I think Hero just got an extension not too long ago. Just keep them, and that's your key piece, and just work around them. The dude is definitely gonna make the All-Star, so just keep him, and just try to get him some players. Bam is not going anywhere, so just keep those 2 core guys, and you'll be okay. I have on my stock down, Larry, I have KP only because of the inconsistency. He gets dinged up, he misses some games, he comes back, he gets dinged up again, he misses some game. Like, I just want to be consistent, and that's not something that you can get right now without him being healthy. So that's, to me, until that happens, the Celtics team is gonna be kind of like treading water, even though they're coming out of the water eventually. But I have KP, I have Miami because of all the reasons that we talked about. And then I have the Lakers because it doesn't matter who's coaching them, whether it's Darvin Ham, whether it's, JJ Redick, it doesn't matter. As long as LeBron is there, I feel like this team is not going anywhere. I mean, what's your take, Larry? Is this like a Lakers team that needs to blow it up, or I mean, who else are they gonna grab now? They just got rid of D'Angelo Russell, so what are they doing?
I don't know. To me, it's like you said. They had so many coaches go in and out. You still get the same scenario. They're good enough to get into the playoffs, but not good enough to do anything. And no one wants to blow the team up. Not probably until LeBron leaves. So I just think they need to rebuild. They need to rebuild and come up with something a little bit different. Anthony Davis will play really well, and then he'll be injured. And I don't know. It's just a lot of up and down with the Lakers that to my I'm not surprised where they are, and just because the West is so tight right now, I think they're actually in 5th place or something like that.
Yeah,
so
they're in 4th place right now, but I mean they're 20-14 record. They actually, when I look at their point differential, it's only -1.5. So they're just not playing defense like you would think. A top 5 team would. Everyone else is plus in the differential category, but except for the Lakers, they're -1.5. So and right now they're 9 games behind OKC, which they're the cream of the top. So I just don't what's the point? And I feel like every time I turn ESPN on, they're always talking about the Lakers. Stop talking about the Lakers. I know that LA is a big market city, but stop talking about the Lakers. Give OKC some love. Give Cleveland some love. Give Houston some love. Even Memphis some love. Right. But they just, why are we stuck on the Lakers? And Minnesota, why are we still talking about Minnesota? We know they're dysfunctional. So it's like, you know what? I'm actually talking to myself right now, and I guess being negative sells, right? So rather than just push these young players and push these actual small market teams that are winning, we concentrate on this terrible, terrible Lakers team.
Yeah.
Yep.
What sells?
Yeah. So we are today's January 4th. We're 2 games into January. How do you feel about this month? Because I'm just gonna quickly go over our predictions that we made for January. So Larry, you had the team going 11-5, exactly the same record as I have, them going 11-5. How do you feel about this upcoming month?
I mean, I'm hoping that they're going to do a little better than 11-5, just because they started off 2-0, have not lost this year, and they got OKC tomorrow. That's going to be a huge test for them. And then they got a little bit of a break because Denver hasn't been playing like Denver, even though they always play us well. And then we have Sacramento and the Pelicans. So and then Toronto, which is always a gimme. So we have 3 games where we can kind of just make a stretch run. So maybe we can cut down from that 11-5 to make up for what happened in December.
Yeah, I agree. And we both have them. I have them winning 6 games in a row, and you have them winning 6 games in a row. So we expect for them to have a really, really good January, have a really, really good West Coast trip. And, they already have 2 victories. If they can get a victory in Denver, and they can, worst case scenario, they can go 3-1. Best case scenario, they just sweep this 4-game road trip. That would be excellent. Then we're talking about this team actually competing with the Clevelands and the OKCs. So what's your message out there to the Boston Celtics fan?
I know it's been rough. Red Sox didn't do what we needed them to do. The Patriots had a very difficult year. But again, we are the defending champions. We're coming into the All-Star break pretty soon. We are healthier than most teams right now. So I think with that being said, and we are still second in the East. And I really think that we haven't played our best basketball yet. And we're going to go out there and show them some stuff. And we're gonna take things easy. We're not going to have people. We're not going to be able to say that most of our teams that we played were injured. So we're going to go through and we're going to show them what we can do.
I 100% agree. I think that, well, first of all, let me put this out there. We need to stop talking about the fact that the Celtics takes the most threes and they, they're ruining the game with all the threes. Who cares? They're winning. Who cares? Who cares? And I'm talking about you, Charles Barkley. Who cares? This team is winning. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter. They're a great passing team. They're a great shooting team. That's a good formula. We just won the championship doing it that way. I'm sorry if, Houston Rockets were like 29th in shooting. Hey, sucks to be the Houston Rockets. They might be a tough team, but they can't shoot. That's the name of the game is put the hoop through the basket. That is the name of the game. I don't care how many attempts it takes. They're doing it. So I'm sorry, world. Boston is here and they're breaking the barrier of the 3-point line. Now, I think I saw somebody do a take on this, say, why don't we move the 3-point line back? Like that's going to change. People are shooting it from halfway court. So I don't know, Larry. I was upset when I heard that because I was like, what do you want them to do? Like, if you look at a video from like 50 years ago, they didn't even have a 3-point line. This is like part of the game that kind of irks me, where the game is evolving, but people are still talking about like, well, back in my day, shooting a 3-pointer was unheard of. Wemby shooting 3-point and making them. So
yeah, three's worth more than two.
Yeah,
that's where the game's going. It doesn't make sense to go inside and get hurt. Step back, shoot a 3. You don't use as much energy when you shoot a shot, so you can play better defense. It all kind of makes sense. And if anything they're going to do with the 3-pointer is maybe add a 4-point line to the game. That would make it more interesting. Or maybe a 5-point line. That's what happened. That's how we got the 3-pointer. That's how we got slam dunks in the game. They make changes, so I can see them trying to do that.
Yeah, I can see that trying to do that. And next time that we meet, Larry, it's going to be the end of January, right before the All-Star break. So we'll have more All-Star break talk because I think this year they're doing something different with the All-Star, right? Isn't like 3-on-3 or something like that. I don't know. They're changing the rules. We'll have more details when we do episode 18. But until then, Larry, Happy New Year. Say Happy New Year for the family for me. And listen, just keep moving forward. Let's go Celtics.
Let's go Celtics 2025. Here we go.
There we go. Peace out. Hi guys, thank you for listening to this episode, Chasing Dino's podcast. If you have any concerns or questions, feel free to email us at simsportsmedia@gmail.com. And please subscribe to this channel, this page, whatever it is, platform that you listen. Peace.